Hello everyone, I am going to introduce my Technofied lesson plan to you today. So here is the website I built for my Technofied lesson plan. I created a web quest called Exploring Montana's Tribal Nations and Reservations web quest. And I'll go back a little bit and just give you a little bit of an overview of where I started. So I selected this 4th grade lesson plan from OPI about using maps to learn about Montana reservations and tribes. I decided to update it quite a bit. As you can see, the learning plan originally was using a paper map and then doing some cutting and pasting using this game board right here and then adding those on to a base map. So I changed my lesson pretty significantly. So there was the original. And if you go to my teacher page on my WebQuest, you can see all of the different steps of 1 through 5. The video you're watching right now being number 5, but you can see that link to the original lesson plan, my full comparison there. You can see my 3rd, which is the finalized version of my Technofied lesson plan, my rationale essay, and then of course, like I said, the video. So I'll go back to the home page, and if you're not familiar with WebQuest, they were new to me this semester, and I really liked them. I think they're a great technology tool that I would like to try using in the future. So this was my, I guess, 2nd attempt making one, but first time using Google Sites, which I really liked. So the goal of them is to be very student-driven and student-paced, and they would all need their own devices, either a Chromebook, iPad, or laptop. And they would work their way through the steps of the web quest. So this first homepage is a little introduction of what students are going to be doing. And the main goal is that students figure out what reservations we have in Montana, what tribal nations are here and have been here, and begin to use maps to represent those interactions. So if you go to the task page, this actually lays out what students will be doing. In the end, they're going to be using this National Geographic Map Maker Interactive to create their own map. And this recording sheet below, which is a Google Doc, is going to help them work through the whole process of the web quest. And they could either do this by having an online version using Google Docs, or they could print it out and have a paper version, depending on what they'd like. So there is the task. Then the process is the majority of the lesson. So this encourages students to organize their materials first, including a base map, which would just be a blank map of Montana using that National Geographic Map Maker, and their recording sheet. So those will help them take notes throughout this process. Next, they would watch this video introducing the First Nations of Montana to help them get some background knowledge on the tribal nations of Montana and provide an engagement activity for them. Then they would move on to exploring the individual tribal websites. And as they go through looking at the different tribal nations websites, they would make sure they know which tribes are a part of which reservations. They would take note of 2 important facts on their graphic organizer. And then lastly, they would be sure to add the location of each reservation onto their base map so that when they get to their final evaluation, they're ready to do that. Then after they explore all of those websites, they would have a little reflection down here, and that would include visiting 2 websites, this Native Lands website and this OPI Tribal Territories map. And they would answer a couple reflection questions that would really help them think about what the difference is between tribal territories and homeland and our current reservation system in Montana. And this would be a great intro activity to talking more about our reservation system here and going into those OPI essential understandings and really being able to use this as an entry point. Then students would work on the evaluation step, and like I said, this is when students use the National Geographic Map Maker to create their own map. And here are some specifics and tips for using MapMaker and the rubric right below. And lastly, so obviously students would need time to work on their maps, and in conclusion, they would have a nice work and congratulations on finishing, and there are some optional extension activities there. Thanks for viewing, and let me know if you have any questions. Thank you.